Hi, this is Jorge Rivera with the People's Resource Center, and this is your Tenant Tip Tuesday. Welcome, and thank you so much, very much for joining us. Let's do some grounding with just some very simple stretching exercises. So this is really good, especially if you're on a day job that is requiring a lot of sitting. It's good to get up and to move around. So let's go ahead and interlace our fingers and just raise them overhead and stretch really high, feeling them in your shoulders and remembering to breathe, and then just bringing them down and sort of pinching your back muscles. Just get a good stretch right in front of your chest, and then we'll just stretch over to the side. And then we'll go ahead and do the other side. And this is really good just to keep you grounded and keep you in your body. And then we can just take a deep inhalation. And then back down. Thank you so much for joining us in that. And let's get to your Tenant Tip Tuesday. So with local tenant protections expiring here in Los Angeles County at the end of the year on December 31st, we wanted to do this tenant tip to advise you of what other tenant protections that you have aside from those. Now, your local city may still have some stronger protections if they have other laws like rent control or even some other ordinances that help protect you as a tenant. But if you are in a city that doesn't have any local protections, you are still covered by state protections. And today we're going to talk about what those are and what those fall under. The state protections that I want to talk to you about today is AB 1482, otherwise known as the Tenant Protection Act of 2019. It went into effect January 1st, 2020, and it offers you two really strong protections. The very first protection is rent increases. If your building qualifies under the Tenant Protection Act of 2019, you are protected from rent increases. And in order to find out if your building qualifies, you can give us a call here at the People's Resource Center, or you can just find out by calling your local jurisdiction, your local city, or even the county to find out if you are protected under AB 1482. Usually it's going to be 3 units or more, and in some cases it might apply to duplexes if the owner doesn't reside in the property. If you are in a single family home, the home has to be owned by a corporation in order for it to qualify under these protections. So, under rent increases, your maximum allowable rent increase is 5% plus whatever the rate of CPI is. And CPI is the Consumer Price Index. Another term for it is the rate of inflation. As you probably know right now, while we're producing this video, the rate of inflation is well above 5%. So 5% plus the rate of inflation would be your maximum allowable rent increase. However, AB 1482 caps it at 10%. So today, because rate of inflation is around 8% and the base is 5%, you were normally going to be charged 13%, but the law caps it at 10% maximum. And so this is a rate increase of 1 time per year. Now, they can issue you multiple rent increases within that 12-month period, but it can only be up to the allowable by law max of 10%. So that is rent increases. If your unit qualifies under AB 1482, you're protected at 10% max for the year. That's really important to know, and be sure to share that out with other people as well if you know that they're getting rent increases. The other really strong protection that AB 1482 offers you is just cause protection. And this basically means that you cannot be evicted from your rental unit without a just cause. Now, there are two types of just causes defined by the law. One is at fault just cause, and these are all the reasons that you probably already know of. You're not paying your rent, you're creating a nuisance, you're destroying the property, you're conducting something illegal in the unit, things of that nature, all the reasons that we're pretty much aware of. The other type of just cause is a no-fault just cause eviction. So this is a reason that is at no fault of the tenant, and it is still considered a just cause, and there are 4 no-fault just cause reasons. And those include if the owner is going to do substantial renovations to the extent that it might require a building permit in order to do those renovations, they can evict you for that reason. The other one is an owner or a close family member move-in. So if the owner is going to move into the unit themselves, or they're moving in a very close family member, they can give you that reason for eviction. And then if they're going to demolish the property and it's no longer going to be available. And the last reason of no fault just cause is if they're just going to completely remove the property from the rental market and they're not going to be renting it out again. So to summarize, you have protections against rent increases, and you have protections against evictions under the Just Cause Ordinance. And the Just Cause Ordinance actually applies to all rental housing units. So even if you're living in a single family home, you are protected under Just Cause. And if you are issued a notice of eviction under Just Cause, it's really important to note some really key points to that. If you're issued a notice, the notice must state the reason for eviction. It has to clearly state that on the notice that you receive. If it doesn't state that, then the notice is insufficient and they would have to reissue that to you. And under no fault just cause evictions, if you're issued a notice and it does have that reason, it must also clearly state what your rights are as a tenant. It has to inform you that you have the right to 1 month relocation benefit. Because the reason for eviction is no fault of your own, as a tenant, they have to offer you 1 month relocation. That can be in the form of a cash payment at the end of the term, or it can be giving you the final month's rent free. So again, to recap, if your building qualifies, you are protected against rent increases with up to a 10% maximum allowable by law, much lower if the rate of inflation comes down. And also you are protected against evictions under the Just Cause provision of AB 1482. And there's 2 types of just cause, no fault and at fault. And whenever you are given a notice of any kind, it must be clearly written and according to the law. So that'll do it for your tenant tip of the week this week. Thank you so very much for joining us. Thank you for watching. Remember, we are better together. We are stronger together. So please share out this video. Go to our YouTube channel and click subscribe. Click the bell notification so that you are notified of any new videos that we produce. And just share this out. We want to get everybody informed on what their rights are, especially as these local protections are coming to an end. And if you have any calls or any questions whatsoever, feel free to give us a call at our tenant counseling hotline. The tenant counseling hotline is here to serve most of Southern California, so feel free to give us a call. We can always connect you to other resources if need be. Thank you so very much again for watching. I'm Jorge Rivera. Have a wonderful holiday season.